Welcome to the 1430 ESPN Outdoors Report, presented by All Out Marine in Allenton.
This is the ESPN Outdoors Report as we kick things off with Pete Huff from Best Damn Guide Service. Pete, sounds like, the weather getting cooler. It's feeling like fall, and you're going to have a busy weekend out on the lake, aren't you, in the bodies of water?
Yep. I've got several trips lined up here through the weekend and Friday also. Still, the walleye bite, the cooler weather we've been having has been getting them fish fired up, and been having 30-plus walleye days and some crappies mixed in, smallmouth, and the bluegill bite continues to be excellent. Fish are kind of in their spring patterns. They do the same in the fall. They get grouped up and just kind of suspended over deeper water, and you just got to use your electronics to find them.
So where have you been this past week, and anything specifically to report from some bodies of water?
Mainly the Madison chain, but I have heard a few guys have been getting a few crappies and walleyes off their shorelines on beaver dams, so those fish are starting to move in, looking for food at this time of year. Side note, this past Monday we stocked over 11,000 bluegills and 2,200 plus walleyes that range from 8 to 10 inches. They're real nice, healthy fish. That's all part of the Walleye Wednesday fundraiser that we've had the past 2 years for the walleyes, and then Beaver Dam Lake Improvement. We bought all the bluegills. So
can I talk about how does that work when you end it? We talked about you get your fish from somewhere. Does it just dump them all in one spot, or how does that work when you decide to feed a lake?
Well, between the Lake District, I know they I want to say put in about 25,000 bluegills. So we had a lot of bluegills stocked here in the last month. They had locations that they picked mid-lake, I would say. So these fish all went in on the north end. I prefer to put them in as far north as possible. It gives them some time to relocate, and then takes longer for them to get down to the dam. So they may stay in the lake longer by keeping them in the lake.
So how does a fish react? Say if you have a fish and you're transporting from somewhere else, and you dump them into a new body of water. What do they do? What do they do to try to figure out where they're at and look for food and stuff like that? How does that all work?
Yeah, they go from being fed basically in a pond to being in a very, very big pond when they say come into beaver dams. So they're getting dispersed. They spread out. I would think they're going to stay shallow right away or wherever the first food is for them. And if there's still some weed growth, they're probably finding zooplankton, smaller minnows, and they go where the food is. They naturally have the instinct, and they were all kicking and taking off as fast as you could watch them leave. So I'm sure they're finding a spot to sit and relocate in, and probably taking off pretty good.
Well, if people want to get a fishing trip booked now or even into the ice fishing season, Pete, tell us about Best Damn Guide Service.
Yep, this past week I've handed out and sold a couple gift certificates for Christmas gifts and retirement parties. So I have those available. Otherwise, you can book a trip by calling me at 608-609-2707 or send me a message on Facebook under Pete Huff or Best Damn Guide Service.
How many people can you host on a single trip?
Well, on the ice, I work with another guide, and we have other helpers. So we'll take up to multiple groups. We can handle probably up to 12 to 14 people comfortably. We have enough electronics for everybody. So I would say we've done corporate trips we've done trips of over 20. We do some different camps and Christian groups. They schedule with us, and we have enough equipment to get around for everybody.
All right, Pete. So whether you're an expert or a novice, you can make sure people have an enjoyable time, correct?
Yes. Yep. It's always a pleasure. Yep.
All right, Pete. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll chat next week.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Wade.
Let's head to the Madison chain right now and bring in Pat from DNS Bait and Tackle. And Pat, boy, Christmas in the air, and it feels like fall finally for fishing. Isn't it supposed to feel like this in September?
Yeah, it was. It feels like we went from July to October in 1 week here, and but I'm definitely not complaining about the cooler temps. I'm happy to see them here. The water around town is finally starting to cool down, and that means the fish are in a good mood, and they're going to only get in a better mood as things continue to cool down.
So how have the fish been this week? What's been the scuttlebutt on the lakes with people having success?
Well, we still got bluegills out on mid-lake humps in good numbers. So on Lake Mendota, there's some real giants to be found out there. Not as much of a numbers game as Lake Monona, but Lake Monona is absolutely packed with bluegills. And so you can find a mid-lake hump. There's a rock pile and down on Monona, or the mid-lake bar, they call it. It's a great spot. But really, weed lines, if you're just looking to catch any number of fish or variety of fish, just find a weed line and you're likely going to run into something. The walleyes have been in a good mood, starting to move up a little shallower. Smallmouth, same thing, and pike are always pretty active, but they're also around in good numbers.
So people can have some success if they decide to get out in the Madison chain this weekend at any time with the cooler weather. Just maybe put on a sweatshirt.
Absolutely, yeah. Throw on a sweatshirt for the morning, but really the afternoons are in the 60s, I think, predicted for the weekend. So we're going to be in great shape, and it's a great time to get out and enjoy these wonderful fall days. This is why we live in Wisconsin, in my opinion.
Yeah, and when you're looking for local knowledge, obviously, if you're anywhere in Dane County fishing, if you stop into DNS Bait and Tackle, you can kind of get the information and get everything you need to have a successful trip. Tell us about your business.
Yeah, we're at 1411 Northport Drive here on the north side of Madison, right near the corner of Northport and Troy Drives. We've got everything you need to get out on the water. We've got a full selection of live bait, and most importantly, we have local advice. We've got our finger on the pulse of what's going on around town, and of course, I do a weekly fishing report. I update that every Friday. We publish that on our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. That's at DS Bait Tackle Fly Shop. We also have a good old school phone line you can call in, and the number there is 608 Big Fish. And we're just happy to be around here and get people out on the water, put them on fish.
All right, Pat, I appreciate all you do, and we'll chat next week.
Thanks so much, Wade. Always a pleasure.
Let's turn our attention to fishtails in Fox Lake. Bringing in Dave here. Boy, Dave, weather's cooling down in a hurry. Finally feels like fall. How's the fishing been in Fox Lake?
Well, the fishing is maintaining. It's been really good this past week. The water temps up till I think about Thursday night. It was 72 degrees still. So these cool nights will really help a lot. It cool the water down maybe a couple few degrees each night, and that's what we really need. But I mean, the fishing is still quite good, but the walleye bite hasn't kicked in yet for the fall, and they're getting some trolling and doing live scope, but generally they'll start moving on the rock piles and things like that as the water starts cooling down, and they'll get real active. The panfish are still biting quite well. The crappies and gills never really stopped, so that's been going on. Big green's been really kicking in now too. The water cooling down there really helps. But even on Beaver Dam, they're getting some crappies along the shorelines and things. So, yeah, we need the cooler temps, and there's a lot of people putting their boats away and stuff. So there's not a lot of people out, but the people that are doing quite well.
Have you heard anybody hunting around Fox Lake? Any update there?
Well, Rick Wentland, who you'll be talking to or whatever, has been out a few times this week and hasn't done quite very good out here. He's done quite well on Beaver Dam, so the ducks aren't heavy anywhere right now, but the cool helps that also. I mean, they just haven't moved down from up north in Mass yet, so once that happens, it should pick up. But I haven't been here and shooting like I normally do this time of year.
All right, tell us about fishtails.
Well, we have everything you need, tackle, alcohol, boat rentals. We're not going to pull our boats till the end of November, and we had some rentals out yesterday, and they did real well. We still got all the minnows you would need for everything. We got musky suckers, real nice ones, and that's another thing guys will start doing this time of year when it starts cooling down. That's a real effective thing. But yeah, we got everything you would need. Stop in if you need to know where to go to fish out here. Let me know, and I'll mark up a map for you and give you all the info I got.
Dave, thanks for all the info today, and we'll chat next week at Fishtails.
All right, thanks, Wade.
All Out Marine are your experts and local carriers of Tracker, Tahoe, Nitro, Sun Tracker, Regency brand boats, and Mako Center console boats. Wants you to stop in to see their new and used inventory. Order your 2026 models now. From pleasure boats to fishing boats, All Out Marine has the boat for you. Check them out online at alloutmarinellc.com. Visit them on the northwest corner of Highway 41 and D in Allenton. All Out Marine is your family-owned, independent, authorized Nitro, Tracker, Sun Tracker, Tahoe, and Mako dealer.
Let's continue on the ESPN Outdoors report right now and bring in our resident outdoorsman, Rick Wetland, who's been, crushing fish and killing ducks this week, Rick?
That seems to be the scenario. As far as the duck hunting goes, I've been out on Beaver Dam Lake. I mean, there's not as many ducks as one would like, but the ones that are around are decoying pretty good, and we've been shooting a wide variety of ducks this opening week. Closes next week for a couple of days, but during the week there's a lot less hunters and some ducks flying around. Very few geese, though, I would say, this time of year.
Okay, do you prefer to shoot a duck or a goose?
Oh, ducks by far. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the meat either way. I give a lot of my ducks away, but geese, yeah, we end up making them into sausage because they're jerky. It's about the only two things you can do with them. I love shooting geese, but it's not my favorite thing to eat. That's for sure.
Now, geese are sometimes mean. If you miss, will they come in and come back at you?
What we have found a lot of times, geese mate for life,
okay.
And if you shoot one and drop it on the water, a lot of times if it's with another one, that other one will circle around like, what the hell just happened here? And a lot of times you end up shooting that one too. So, yeah, geese are weird that way, that's for sure.
Leave your window open at night is going to come in while you're sleeping and look for some revenge?
Well, you never know. You hear all the horror stories, and Halloween's coming up. You never know.
Hey, fishing-wise, tell me about that this week.
The crappie bite has been fabulous out here in Fox Lake. There's been a lot of guys out chasing them. What I have found is they're all in like 12 foot of water. It seems they're very schooled up right now and pretty darn easy to catch. The bass fishing on Fox Lake is kind of so-so, but other area lakes around are pretty good. Little Green's been really good, believe it or not. Emily's been good. With the cooler waters, in my opinion, the fishing's only going to get better coming up here.
Awesome stuff. Now I know you have been, your guiding is kind of done for the year, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely done. Yeah.
But Raw Bass Customs, if people are looking for, it's that time of year now, whether it be Christmas gifts and things like that. Tell us about Raw Bass Customs, what they're all about, and where they can find them.
Well, I've said it for years that the fall bite, the crankbait bite, is probably the best it's going to be all year, and that's pretty much what I paint. Is crankbaits running from 6 inches under the water to 10 feet under the water, and the crankbait bite is fabulous right now. And I paint 70 different kinds of blanks in any color you could imagine. They're available here at Fishtails in Fox Lake, M&M Tackle in Portage, Stu's here in Partyville, and Dick Smith's in Pewaukee, probably your local places to find them.
So if somebody wants to pick up some for their outdoors, they have an outdoorsman, husband or spouse or whatever, and they don't know, does the color really matter? If they just buy something, they'll know it'll be good, or do they have to ask them what kind of colors that they want?
Well, there's a lot of lakes that, there's color specific. In my opinion, if you throw a bluegill colored or a crappie colored bait in Wisconsin, you will catch walleyes, you will catch pike, you will catch bass on them. I mean, those are two of my most popular colors. But, I'm a big chartreuse guy. Anything with the color chartreuse, pretty much anything in chartreuse, especially for the walleyes around here, is a pretty good bet.
Rick, thanks for the update, and we'll talk next week.
All right, Wade, sounds good.
Thanks for listening to the ESPN Outdoors Report presented by All Out Marine in Allenton. Catch the ESPN Outdoors Report 3 times every week on 95.3 WBEV at 4:35 p.m. on Fridays, as well as Saturday and Sunday mornings at 6:35 a.m. Hear the ESPN Outdoors Report every Friday at 12:40 p.m. on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and on demand on the Sports tab at dailydodge.com.